All right, good afternoon, everybody. Waiting on Jesse to get in here. He's setting up, but I want to go over a few things here in the meantime. All right. Moderators, I'm going to ask that you guys please do a really good job tonight, this evening, or this afternoon, whatever you want to call it. I don't want no BS started in the chat. I'm not going to really be paying attention to the chat too much. The phone number and stuff will be on the screen to call in and ask me questions or ask Jesse questions. But I don't want no BS in this chat tonight during this show. So if y'all could do me a good job, I'd really, really appreciate it. It's possible. One, I tried it before and it didn't really work out, but this is HVAC tactical. This is not my merchandise. Can everybody hear me okay? No, that's not too bad, Mark. Jeffrey, how you doing? We're just waiting on Jesse to get in here. He's having to download Chrome, so no big deal. Gives me a chance to talk to you guys anyway. I especially want to talk to the moderators. Like I said, please do a good job. Keep the trash out. Keep the BS out because I'm not going to be paying too much attention to the chat. Heartbreaking loss today by my Saints. Went squirrel hunting Saturday morning. Didn't really kill nothing. Didn't kill anything. Shouldn't say didn't really. I didn't. Didn't even see any. You son of a bitch. That was a heartbreaking kick for sure. But you got to give Will Lutz credit, man. He made a 60-yarder, and I think that was a 62. He tried, man. He really did. Hey, there's Curtis. Hopefully, Curtis will be coming on here soon. We're going to try to get that worked out with him. Again, we're just waiting on Jesse to pop in here. Curtis has a very nice channel, nice intros, everything. And I hope to get him on here one day so we can talk to him. I don't know if that's the real Isaiah or not. Again, we're just waiting on Jesse. He's having to download something. Yeah, Curtis, we look forward to you coming on here soon, man. Jesse says he's just about got it. There he is. All right, guys, he's here. Let me let him in.
Hey, here we go. Technical difficulty.
Let me make sure I got my. Okay, now I can hear you. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Nice to meet you.
Oh, yeah. Nice to meet you. Glad to be here.
Absolutely glad to have you. Can everybody hear Jesse okay? Just want to make sure everybody in the chat can hear you before we get started.
Right. My volume turned up here.
Yeah.
All right. There we go.
Yep. It looks like everybody can hear you. Well, man, I've been a fan since I discovered one of your videos. It came up in the recommendations, and I subscribed, and I watch every one of your videos. You're a really good technician. I like how thorough you are, which is what attracted me to you. Because I'm the same way. But yeah, man, you're very thorough, and you seem not to like the course sense very much.
No, I just we come across so many problems just here and there where you go out and the core sense is tripped out, and you reset everything and you can't find anything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like they're so sensitive. It seems like they can trip just so easy. So
when I sold a Mana, they would do that. It was the older core sense, so they were even worse. We would bypass them. We would eliminate them.
We do that. I'll admit it. We do that, but I will say you better hook them back up if you got a warranty.
True.
True. That's a smart thing to keep in mind. But
so where you work at, obviously you work at Zap Heating and Cooling. Is a Mana y'all's main line?
Well, we've recently in the past year or so we've switched to Carrier Bryant products.
Smart move.
We still deal with Amana Goodman, but I would say they're not our primary.
Okay.
But we put so many in over the
But it looks like at one point it was.
It was. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Starting out.
So, but before we get into that, tell us about yourself. You got a wife, you got kids. How old are you? Tell us about yourself.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm 22 years old.
Oh my God. Damn, you make me feel old. Go ahead.
Oh, So I'm 22. I'm recently married. Got married back in
Congratulations.
June, actually. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Been doing HVAC about going on 4 years. Say 4 years.
Wow. You only have 4 years of experience.
Yeah. 4 years ago, I wouldn't know what a thermostat was, maybe. How to work one.
Impressive.
So, I mean,
Impressive.
I've had a lot of good people to learn from over the years, and
Obviously so.
But
So no kids yet?
Not yet, but eventually,
You're still
it's
young.
definitely in the plan.
You're still young.
Oh yeah.
I didn't have my first child till I was 24, and a couple Tuesdays ago I turned 33. So, but that's impressive, man.
Gotcha.
22 years old,
Yeah.
4 years experience. I would have sworn you had at least 7 to 10 years of experience.
I get that a lot.
So
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
I appreciate that.
I'm very impressed. So where are you located?
I'm in a little town called Clarksville, Georgia. It's in North Georgia region, northeast, and yeah, got the mountains up here, North Georgia mountains. So it's a pretty place to be in, for sure. Where are you located? I wasn't for sure where exactly in Louisiana.
Lafayette, Louisiana, South Louisiana.
Gotcha.
How'd you get, so what were you doing before HVAC, and what got you into HVAC?
All right. So basically my senior year of high school, I'll just go ahead and I did a video here a while back of my testimony. I'll kind of do
Hey, you know what? I didn't watch it, so I apologize.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll share it for everybody right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
So basically my senior year of high school, I did a program called work-based learning. So for 2 of my classes in high school, I could leave and go to work, and basically they had a program with their maintenance department. And basically, the maintenance department of these high schools, they take care of everything. And they had a guy that, did the heating and air for the school. And basically I got, put with him, and we'd ride around and look at all the systems, and I would just be basically his helper. I mean, starting out. And that's where I first kind of got my taste of it, as you could say. And basically he just kind of, showed me a few things. Those were bigger systems, there hadn't really touched any residential stuff yet. And then once I graduated and stuff, actually right before I graduated, the week before, I was with my dad, and he mows grass for a living. He has his own business mowing grass. And we went over to this guy's house to look at his yard, and I was rush riding with him. And because he said, hey, this guy does heating and air. Why don't you go ride with me over there and let's talk to him, if you want to make this a career. And I'd already decided I was very interested. I liked the idea of getting into that, just from what I'd been told working for the maintenance department. So basically get out there, and this guy walks out, and he's like, my dad just told him, like, this, it's my son. He's interested in, learning about heating and air. And he looked straight at me and said, just first thing he said was, how'd you like to have some hands-on experience? And I said, yeah, absolutely. He said, I'll talk to my boss and get you set up. And they called me 2 days later, offered me a helper job for a local heating and air company.
And this is at Zap or no?
This was my previous company.
Okay.
So I'm not in I moved to where I am now here in Clarksville.
Okay.
And from another little town up in North Georgia.
Okay.
It's my hometown. And I was a little company up there, a lot smaller than Zap, was where I got my start. And I spent about 2 years with them, and basically learned everything I did. And I feel like once I moved to Zap, I kind of became more of the just strictly the service.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, you're 22 years old, you got 4 years experience, and you're like just a full-blown service tech. I mean, obviously you help out every now and then. I did see you put in an air handler the other day on one of your videos, which, I'm a business owner, so I do it all. But okay, so how large is the company that you work for?
Well, there's 4 service techs, counting myself. And we have 2 install crews. We we got 4 main installers and a couple of school kids that help us out.
Right.
But service side, it's 4 of us, and the main technician is the service manager, which is technically my boss, but he's also a service tech.
Got you.
And that's basically, he helps us out. We kind of go off of him.
So you're not on a level of lead or anything right now. You're just a service tech.
Just yep.
Okay,
yes,
but you're a good one. But you're a good one.
Yeah.
And you have the opportunity to definitely move up. So are y'all strictly residential, or y'all do a little bit of commercial?
I would say right now we're strictly residential.
Okay.
Because that's, very rural where we're at, and it's just a more surplus of residential systems. So absolutely.
So how did you get into YouTube? How did you decide to, how did you find, I'm sure you found me, I'm sure you found several others. How did that come about?
Oh yeah. Well, basically as I transitioned more into the service tech, I started watching YouTube to learn. I mean, that's a lot of what a lot of these guys do. And not gonna lie, you were like the second or third one I came across, and I was like, hey, this guy is, he goes out, films step by step what he does. I like that. I've learned from you, learned from Curtis, HVAC guy, and Ted. I love Ted.
Ted's a great guy.
Yep. And y'all 3 were like, I would say, the main ones I found and started. There's another guy, I forget what his name is. He's over in Texas.
Texas.
Say his name is Washington. Wash.
Oh, WW.
WW.
Yes. Yeah. That's Walter. Yep. Good guy.
Walter. Okay. Walter. Okay. I couldn't forget what his first name was. Yeah. Him. Y'all are my 4. The big ones, of course, that I found. And basically, I watched y'all even before I went to Zap. I kind of found y'all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So once I come here, I started watching y'all to learn. And as I got more comfortable in just a straight service show, I thought, you know what? Why can't I make these?
Well, that was going to be my next question. What made you start filming?
Well, to be honest, the main reason is I just enjoy it. At first it's just something I enjoyed, and also, this industry is starving for techs. And I definitely thought I could be helpful as well. So that's probably my biggest reasons. But
that is dead accurate. This industry is starving for technicians, and absolutely, you hit the nail on the head, my friend.
That's big one.
So I see you got your logo built, Zap's logo built into your YouTube logo. So you just walked up to your owner and said, "Hey, dude, can I film?"
I kind of just started doing it on my own, and I thought,
does he know about it?
Oh yeah, they are backing me. They love it. They love watching me, and
good.
They're all about it. They're backing me 100% on it.
Good. That's good, people, because when I moved over here to Lafayette, I was in business with my dad. But when I first moved here 5 years ago, or however long it's been, I didn't go straight into business. I went to work for a couple people. And I asked them, told them about my YouTube channel. And they were like, "Oh, no, you're not doing that here." Well, I did it anyway on the lowdown. But, of course, since I brought it up, they were checking, and they found it. They fired me over it.
Oh, wow.
They fired me over 2 videos.
Real?
Instead of giving me the opportunity to take the videos down, they just fired me.
Wow, man.
Yeah. So they're
pretty brutal.
They're kind of I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but the companies around here, they don't want you filming if you work for them. Now, I've made friends with a bunch of heat and air guys because they watch me, but you go to work for somebody around here, they don't want you filming. So the fact that your boss is so cool with you filming, and he's even let you put his company logo. I mean, you're wearing their hat right now into your logo. That's awesome. I think that is cool, because I'd be the same way. If my technician, I only have one, if he decided he ever wanted to start filming to make him a channel, of course, obviously I'd be all for it because I do it. But the fact that your boss doesn't do it and is so cool with you doing it, I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So it sounds like you work for a good guy.
yeah, they're very good guy, very good people. I'm 100% happy with what I got here. So it's
Good. And you know,
been great.
one of my questions to you was through text message the other day was, do you? And of course, I mean, I'll go ahead, I'll ask it, but you kind of answered it already. But you're only 4 years in, so I don't think you should do it anytime. Um, but maybe someday going out on your
Yeah,
own.
yeah. I mean, it's always been a thought in my head. Um,
Again, I
I
don't
guess
think you should do it anytime soon. I think you should
right,
stay
yeah.
put. But go ahead.
But yeah, it's definitely always a thought, but it would have to be after I've seen, I would say at least a decade, just to kind of see, because me and my bosses and my coworkers, we talk about it all the time, constantly seeing stuff new in this industry.
Oh yeah.
It's something a different situation, or they're evolving the technology.
Well, I mean, look at
It's
what's
just
happening January 1 with this Sear 2, you know?
yeah,
So,
absolutely.
but I
So
tell you what, I hope I didn't mean to cut you off. I want you to continue, but I hope they're paying you good because you would be really hard to replace.
yeah, yeah. They're taking care of me. I'll just tell you
Good,
that
good,
they're doing well. Yeah.
good.
Mr. On the Go Mob Light Detailing.
Oh God, I don't have time to talk to him right now. So I got a couple questions.
All right.
Being
Sure.
that you're so new to the trade, do you not Zap Jesse? Do you if you went in business right now, just hypothetically, do you have a brand of equipment that you love that you have fallen in love with?
Yeah, I would have to say Carrier Bryant products.
Carrier Bryant
I,
ICP,
they
like an Arco
they
Air. I've seen you work on a
they
couple Arco Airs.
they've growed on me. Yeah, I
Yeah,
would have to say right now it would be that brand.
yeah. What about a
Definitely.
favorite tool? You got a favorite tool?
I got one that I carry with me. If I just need a tool, because I don't know what I'm going to need, it is the HVAC 8-in-1. Have you seen those?
I own about 3 of them.
Okay. That's my one go-to tool. I've been
Yep.
asked that a couple of times, and that's my answer. Sticking to it.
Yep.
So
That's
HVAC 8-in-1.
I couldn't agree anymore. I couldn't agree anymore.
Got everything you need on there. If it had a set of gauges on it somehow,
Yeah,
it would be
yeah,
100% what you need. So,
absolutely.
but yeah.
So how do
sure.
how do y'all do? Do y'all do 24-hour emergency service?
Yeah. I mean, to an extent, we have some priority customers that we would absolutely go in the middle of the night for. Depending on the time of year too.
Right.
But I would say majority wise, we'll go out. We'll go out at 8 or 9 o'clock, depending on the situation.
Right.
But other than that, get into the middle of the night, it's
no. But what about like Saturdays, Sundays?
Oh yeah,
y'all have an on-call rotation.
Absolutely. So I'm on call once a month.
Once a month.
For technicians.
Yep.
So,
yep.
On one weekend, I get 3 weekends off. And then we just rotate each week. So
very good. That's how it always was.
So, yeah.
That's how it always was when I worked for people. If anybody has any questions for me or Jesse in particular, please call the phone number. So yeah, that's a good gig, man. Now, of course, I know it's probably been your only service vehicle, but how do you like working out of the little small truck, the little small van?
It's a Ford Transit. They're front wheel drive. They surprise me where they'll go sometimes because up here in the rural North Georgia, it's a lot of off-roading. The only one time I have not been able to take it somewhere was take in mind this was after a big rain, and there was this one. It was a cabin up in the mountains here, and I had to go down a bank and through a creek crossing, and the creek crossing was too deep for this Ford Transit. They would have swept me right away. But other than that, they do very well traction wise. Sometimes you have to, since the front drive, you have to back up places.
Right.
But overall, they impress me for how they're built.
So all the service guys drive those at Zap?
3 out of 4. One guy has it's a Dodge. It's something. It's
The
a Dodge van.
ProMaster, the big one.
No, it's a small. It's more like the small transits.
Oh,
But
it's called
Dodge.
that's the ProMaster City then.
I guess it is. Yep.
Okay, so 3 of them are the Ford, and the other one is a small Dodge.
Yep. Correct.
And what do the installers drive?
They have the big Ford Transits with a tall roof. You know what I'm talking about?
You. Yep, my dad. That's what my dad drives for his service truck.
Gotcha.
I drive. I'm sure you've seen the video. I got my old service truck back. I drive a F-250 with a utility bed.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I've got it all fixed up, and then I've got the Chevrolet 2500 that's going to go to my technician, and then his truck. I still haven't decided if I'm going to sell it or not. I don't know what I'm going to do. So that's awesome, man. The small transits. A lot of guys that come from a big truck like me, it's really hard to readapt.
Yeah.
But it looked like you had that thing loaded down pretty dang good, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's which they already kind of had the shelving the way it is when I started. So yeah, just the way they have it designed and laid out, it carries, 95% everything I need. And I can't carry units, obviously, or
Right.
I might could carry a small coil or something like that, but anything big like that, it's going to be turned to the install guys. So that's why they have the big vans and. Well,
I was going to ask you that when you did that air handler and when you did that Amana condenser lifetime warranty swap out, the installers had to go pick that up.
Well, in some situations, like
or you get it delivered.
The Amana system we done. Basically, me and one of the other techs had a slow day, so me and him just hopped in a big van and ran and just.
And did it together. Okay,
yeah.
I got you.
Situations like that when we're able to.
Yeah.
It makes people feel good because they don't have to wait as long.
Absolutely.
Situations like that.
So how is business right now? Is it slowing down a little bit, doing a lot of maintenance?
Yeah, I was texting the other day, this past week was probably the slowest we've had since probably last winter, I would say.
Yeah.
But tomorrow morning we start our fall maintenance is full swing. We're gonna have probably 2 or 3 a day for the next month.
Yeah, I've got about a half a day so far, and I'm still texting people today, scheduling even more. So Tuesday I have a full change out, so I didn't schedule any for then. But after that, we'll get back on them. But anyway, so what are y'all doing with R22? Y'all still have true R22?
We do not. We
No?
have completely stopped getting it. Yes.
What are y'all using?
We've just been using 407C.
No mineral oil. I'm sorry. No. Are y'all pumping? Are y'all topping off R22 with it, or taking the R22 out? Or
it just depends. If it's a system that's going to be changed out, then we'll just top it off. Yeah. If it's a situation where they're wanting to just limp it along, we might retrofit it. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Just retrofit it. So.
Are y'all putting the POE oil in the system like you're supposed to, or no?
No, we usually don't.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. It's no reflection on anything. A lot of people are not doing it. Now, let me ask you this: have y'all seen any issues with it, being that y'all are not putting POE in it?
I haven't personally. I have to kind of talk to the other guys.
Right.
It's not really something I don't think we've even thought of to talk about, but yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
well, that's a good thing. If y'all are not talking about it, then it's not happening.
Right.
You're not going over there saying, "Oh, damn, this is another retrofit. We didn't put no," because they say you're supposed to put about 20% of POE oil. Like, okay, let's say the compressor calls for however many ounces of mineral oil. Yeah. You're supposed to put 20% POE in there.
Right.
Because 407C supposedly cannot carry mineral oil back to the compressor. Okay. But I know a lot of people that are doing it without adding oil or doing anything. Now, there is another refrigerant called 427A. It's the same thing as 407C, except it's got a fourth refrigerant in it to help carry back the mineral oil. Okay. But it's expensive as hell. It's like $500-something a jug.
Wow.
How much are y'all paying for the 407C right now?
I'd have to ask higher up.
Oh, that's not your department.
Yeah,
Okay,
right.
I got you.
We have a guy. We have a guy for that.
So y'all don't go to the supply house and pick up y'all stuff. It's all at the shop.
Yeah, if we have to pick something up, it's because it's not at the shop.
That's what I was going to say. So
yeah.
when it's time to restock the truck with capacitors, contactors, relays, sequencers,
We have a whole building for that
at the shop. So you don't have to go to the supply house and do that.
unless it's something weird that we needed. That,
or if you're on a job and you need something, you know.
Say if it's like a weird size filter or a weird capacitor, like let's say a 35/3. You know, cause they're not gonna something weird like that. You know, that's just.
Are you allowed to run to the supply house and go do it, or do y'all have a parts runner?
If we got to go, we got to go. I mean, it just depends on we don't really have we have, like I said, we have the school guys that can help out, like run us a filter or run us a part when they're available. So.
That's what I have my wife for.
There you go.
Because I worked for one company. We had a parts runner, and it was great. But he was not only, there was 6 technicians with myself. So, I get on a job, I don't have the right capacitor, or I don't have the right this or the right that, or I need a board, or I need a fan motor, because they made us do OEM fan motors and everything. So, it's pick up the phone, call the parts guy. Hey, I need a motor. I'm at this address. Well, he could see it because we had Service Titan. But
okay.
It's John. I need a motor over here. Okay, let me look where you're at. Oh man, I'm nowhere near there. It's gonna take me over an hour. All right, let me call the office. So pick up the phone, call the office. Hey, so I'm not gonna say his name. I'm just gonna say Johnny because that's a common name, but that's not his name. Johnny's not around to bring me a fan motor. I need a fan motor. Well, you're not allowed to go to supply house. I'm not gonna say the owner's name either. I'm just gonna say Joe Blow. Joe Blow don't like y'all going to the supply house. So you want me to sit here and twiddle my thumbs for 2 hours waiting on a motor? No, why don't you move on to the next call on your schedule?
Yeah.
Oh, so now you want me to go tell the customer that I'm going to move on to another call while his unit is all tore apart. I then took the old motor off, the old blade off, which I'm going to reuse the blade. I've then took this unit apart. But you want me to go tell this man or woman, hey, I'll be back in a couple hours because they don't want to let me go get your part when I'm 5 minutes from the supply house.
That's ridiculous, man.
Well, Joe Blow don't want you going to the supply houses. Well, you know what? Let me call Joe Blow. So I call Joe Blow on his phone. Hey, Joe Blow. I'm 5 minutes from the supply house. Johnny is an hour and a half away. We got a bad condenser fan motor over here. The girls want me to go on the next call on my list and tell this customer with a broken unit, hey, I'll be back in a couple hours. What do you think I should do? I think you should listen to the girls and the service manager at the office. I asked Joe Blow, I said, what do you think I should do? Or what do you want me to do? This is the owner of the company. I want you to do what your service manager says and go to the next call. No, I said, oh, okay. I hung up the phone. Guess what I did? I went to the supply house and got the motor myself. They were like, damn, dude, you got a set on you. Y'all are never supposed to come in here. I said, well, you know what? I don't care. Give me the motor.
Not only is that ridiculous, but, in our company, if it's had a situation like that, it wouldn't make sense because that's so inefficient.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're all about efficiency here at Zap, and that right there would not fly in our company because that'd be so inefficient when you could take 5 minutes and instead of having to come back in 3 hours, you might have a total of 15 extra minutes having to run to the supply house, but you're going to fix this client's system. You're going to get them back going, and if you tell them, I'll be back in a few hours, your customer
with a broken unit,
my reputation starts getting a little, up in the air there. If you're telling people that, you have somebody else that could fix it right then because they're allowed to go to the supply house.
Right. And so I made the decision. I told the customer, I got to run to the supply house and get you a motor. I'll be back. Thank God. That woman was hot. If I'd have told her, hey, they want me to move on to the next call, I got to follow the rules, blah, blah, blah. She would have been irate.
Yeah.
So I went and got the motor.
Oh, yeah.
It was a train unit. Went and got the motor, put it on, got her cooling. Girls are calling me while I'm at the supply house. Hey, did you move on to the next call? I said, nope, I'm at the supply house getting the motor. What? Oh, man, Joe Blow's going to be pissed, man. I was like, I don't care. I'm not leaving this lady without air. And I'm not waiting on Johnny to come. Again, that's not their real names, people. I'm not waiting on Johnny to come bring me this motor in 2 hours. So I did it. Got back to the office that next morning. Got my ass reamed out for going to the supply house. I said,
I bet.
Fire me. You know, I made the client happy.
Yeah.
Fire me. You know, they didn't. Don't ever do that again. That's why we got a parts runner. I said, if Johnny's 2 hours away, I'll definitely do it again. I said that right to the owner's face and to the service manager's face. So I could be a controversial guy. I don't care if I get myself in trouble. I'm going to help people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. And like, you know, I agree with you 100% on this because, like I said, it's just so inefficient. And plus, let's say you leave this customer just hanging and she's hot and whatever. You know, if you get it fixed, and let's say she goes and writes a bad review. We're big about reviews. You know,
yeah.
If she go back right, you go put a review online. Everybody in the world can see that. You know, if they see that situation, they may feel like, well, if I got something broke, it might be way longer than what I expect them, or they advertise to fix something.
That's right.
And you're going to deter business. So
I'm trying to build up more reviews on my company on Google, and most of my reviews, you will see John was efficient. You know, he got the job done in a timely manner. I didn't have to wait long, blah, blah, blah. That's what these people want. They want efficiency and timely manner. You know, if I would have told that woman, I'll be back in 2 to 3 hours, she would have not been happy with me. Not at all.
Can't blame her. Especially
9,500 degrees outside in Louisiana.
Yeah, can imagine.
So I made my own calls. I got in a lot of trouble when I worked over there, but you know, now that that's one thing. But you see, you work for a good company that's not like that.
Absolutely.
This guy that I'm talking about, pardon my French, he's an asshole, and he has a reputation in this town for being a really big asshole.
I ain't really come from a company like that, but there's several at my company that have had that same situational type companies they came from to join us. So I can definitely relate to what you're saying just by these other guys.
Oh, yeah. One more time, guys, if anybody has any questions, call the number down on the bottom of the screen. Let me ask you this. Has any other companies tried to recruit you to get away from Zap?
No, I try not to look around, you know. I'm not trying to look,
No, that's not what I mean. Like, I know you're not looking, but have you ever been in a supply house or something and the guy say, hey man, I've heard you're a good tech. Why don't you come work for me? I'll pay you more money.
Not really.
That's good.
I'll just be honest, not really. It's
good.
So you know, I really had to deal with that. So
well, that was a big thing around here when I worked for other people. Oh yeah, man. They, you'd be in a supply house, they tap you on the back of the shoulder. Hey man, what's going on? You know them. Hey man, what's it gonna take for you to come work for me? Well, I mean, why don't you give me about $45 an hour? I'll come work for you.
Something crazy like that. But
But no, that's good, man. I mean, you seem like like I said, anybody that's letting you do YouTube and put their logo in it and all that, that's good people, man.
Yeah, man. They're cool. Very cool. So.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. I'm still blown away at how young you are, and just only 4 years, man. That's awesome. That is, you are going to be not that you're not a good tech, but you are going to be, man, when you get 10 years in, dude, you're going to be able to name your price to go work or get a raise from Zap or whatever. So kudos to you.
Yeah, that's what I'm shooting for. So
Yeah.
that's the goals.
Yeah.
So,
That's awesome,
absolutely.
man. That is awesome. So, have you done a lot of change outs or not really?
Well, when I started at my original company, that's all I
Okay.
did was
Okay.
change outs. And since I've been at Zap, I've helped with a handful. It just depends on if one of the installers is sick, or just we have an extra change out and we're slow in service. Just
Right.
depends. But
You did a
yeah,
really, tell you what, man, you did a bang up mastic job on that carrier.
that's so
Your
I'll do
mastic is gorgeous. Mine, I try to do the best I can, but I even told my wife, I said, Candace, come here. I said, look at the mastic, how pretty it is on that damn unit. She goes,
all
that
right.
don't
So
look nothing like yours.
I can't take all the credit. I was actually taught that when I got to Zap.
Okay.
I'll give a shout out to one of our installers. His name is John,
Okay.
and he taught me that basically you just tape it up beforehand with duct tape. Make your straight lines of the tape, paint your mastic, peel your tape off, and you got perfect lines with your mastic.
Oh, so you don't use the foil or the mastic tape. You just put duct tape and paint the tape and then peel it off.
Correct. Yep. That's the trick.
I'm going to have to give that a shot.
Try it.
I'm going to have to give that a shot.
And especially if it's a furnace sitting in a closet like that or in a basement.
Yeah. I like what you did with the box. I like how you your salesman, or okay, we'll get to that in a minute. You were not provided a new box, but you adapted and overcame and you made that box work. And not only did you do it, you did it right. You didn't just tape it, you put pieces of metal, then you taped it, then you sealed it. So kudos to you.
Shout out to Ted Cook. He has a lot of videos about just don't tape. You got to put a filler in there, and that's
you got to put a filler. Yep,
that's a big. Learned a lot from him with that. So
Ted is an excellent guy that I've learned a lot from. He's got a lot of knowledge to share. So kudos to you for doing a good job on that. And so if a change out needs to be sold, are y'all allowed to sell it, or do y'all have a salesman?
I'll just tell you. I'll just shoot you what our process is on that. So let's say I'll just kind of go off an example so I can tell it better. Basically, this past spring I was at a maintenance.
Okay.
All right. And it's a 5-ton, I think it's a 5-ton train heat pump. And basically the guy, it was probably, I think 12, 13 years old. And, it was starting to get pretty rough shape. And I pretty much, told the guy, it's out of warranty. And how would you feel about just at least seeing about upgrading? He's like, yeah, I would at least like to have some info, so we could, have it, prepared. And so basically in that situation, if they need to know pricing or if they want to, possibly move forward with a new system, basically we have a guy at our office. He basically handles all our sales. So we just give him a call on the phone, tell him the situation we got, and then he gets the price together. I get him, the client, and me on speakerphone, and we have a little conference call. And basically he gets, I'm there, and also, our guy on the phone. So he's hearing it relayed twice right there as we're having the conference call. And basically he gets all the information, pricing down to the penny, and he gets told all the info he needs and the entire process. And if he says, yeah, I'd like to move forward, we send him over we email our quotes, and he gets them, and he has a place to sign off. He signs it, it's a done deal. And we as soon as he signs it, it automatically sends it back. We order the equipment and go from there.
I like that. So basically
it keeps it pretty simple.
Yeah. And that's how my guy does it. I tell him, if you need a change out, just call me up. We'll talk to the customer together. So basically your job is probably the same job as my guy. You got to call your guy up and say, look, we need a new plenum. We need a new 6-inch. He's got one duct run that needs to be replaced. He needs a new return box, or he needs this. He needs a new condensate pump. You have to feed all that information to the salesman, right?
Yeah, that's a big thing. If the change out becomes a done deal, you need to make sure you have all the other little details, because that's what makes a change out a change out. You can't just have the units. A lot of the times you got to have all the accessories with it. That's a big thing to let the sales guy know, and so he can relay it to the installers.
Yeah, absolutely. So, that's the same way I do mine. If my guy calls me, he knows I need plenum information. Do we need a new plenums? Do we need a condensate pump? Do we need this? Do we need a pad? Do we need a whip? Do we need, blah, 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 blah. I need everything.
Absolutely.
Don't call me and say, hey, I need a price on a system. I need a price on a system, with condensate pump, with new whip, with this, with that, blah, blah, blah. Okay, give me a few minutes to put it together. I'll call you back. I'm going to quote out 3 systems. And does he do that like a good, better, best?
Yeah, we basically, once he does his, I call it his spiel over the phone, it gets, like I said, it gets transferred into writing,
Yeah.
And basically, I tell him what we need over the phone, but once I'm done with him on the phone, I'll go to my software and I'll type in my notes, what we did, what I sold, what needs to be done for the job. Say if it's it's in a crawl space,
Right.
plenum's falling apart, need a new supply, and return plenum. I will a lot of times I will look at see how many runs are coming, or duct runs are coming off of it, or
Definitely
if there's anything else that needs to be repaired. You look duct work is a big thing, especially if they're not gonna replace it with the system. If it's a situation where they're not going to be able to replace it, then it needs to be made sure it's not falling apart. So it can be fixed when you go back, to do an install.
Mm-hmm.
Is a big thing, and a lot of times we've struggled with this before. Is making sure the drain lines get replaced. It's a big thing. We've because I can't tell you how many times now I've been to a return call on a new system and it be a clogged drain.
I know.
And whether that's a pump or if it's just a gravity fed drain that's it's just clogged completely out.
Yep.
Way to the outside. So
same thing here. We've had the same issue all summer. We've been blowing them out, flushing them with hot water and whatever that stuff's called that I use. Hot water, that drain solution cleaner, and I'll be damned 2 days later, they call and say the unit's not cool, and I go over there, there's the damn drain is stopped up. So from now on, I told my guy, and I have a subcontractor too that I use on bigger changeouts. Change the drain from the unit to where it terminates from now on. All new pipe. A part of me is even thinking about going to 1-inch pipe. There's a lot of companies here that use 1-inch pipe.
Really.
And they make a male adapter to where the coupling is 1 inch, but the threads are 3/4, to where you can screw it directly to the unit and can terminate right off the unit with 1 inch.
Okay.
And they do have the pre-made 1-inch P-traps.
Okay.
Yep.
That's cool.
They make them. So I'm not saying it's something I'm going to do. I don't want to, but the thought has crossed my mind.
Let me ask you this, bringing up P-traps, see what your opinion is on this.
Okay.
Do you like the P-traps that have like the U that comes straight down and goes straight back up?
No.
Or do you like where it comes down and goes straight?
Where it comes down and just goes straight. Okay. I don't like this. That U that's just a little bit shorter, that's too much, in my opinion. That's a lot of restriction and a lot of place to clog. So I guess you can't really call it a P, but I don't like the running trap, the one that just does this.
Yeah.
I like the one that comes down and then comes straight out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't like the easy traps. I don't like the U traps. None of that.
But I don't know how often you see it, but you come across something, that not necessarily that we did, but just something that's there. Some systems don't even have a trap.
Oh yeah,
so you see it all the time.
Oh yeah, and the reason we don't have them because a lot of times our AC drain lines terminate into the sewer.
Okay.
And it's all tied in rigid with a reducing coupling, and that's where the trap is.
Okay.
But you can still put a trap right at the unit. It needs to be right at the unit, but you have to put a vent tee after that so you don't double trap.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. I agree.
And that way, if some of that sewer gas does come back, it can escape through that T also.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Absolutely.
But.
Yeah, we had a saying that with the sewer. It reminds me, my service manager, he had a call back late winter. I remember it was a client. I bet he called 2 or 3 times. We had to go back, and he was complaining of a rotten egg smell. He's having this rotten egg smell, and it was a fairly new install, and it took a trip or two to figure out that it was not vented correctly, and that sewer gas was just floating right back up into his system and into his house. And it's a big thing.
So if if it ties into the sewer rigid, you know, with a hard coupling and a reducing bushing, you can put a P-trap at the unit, but you better put a vent T after that P-trap for 2 reasons: sewer smell, and so you don't double trap.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, yep,
definitely.
I was going to ask you something else, and I forgot what it was. Oh, I don't remember.
Somebody said
Go ahead.
Somebody said here they only use P-traps in commercial. Not sure what that means, but
yeah, that's not right. Anytime you have a negative pressure system, you need a P-trap.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mikey, as he said earlier, he's based out of, you said, Northeast Georgia?
Yeah, Northeast Georgia.
Northeast Georgia.
Yep.
So how far are you from Atlanta?
We're about an hour north.
Okay, so not too bad.
Hour northeast, not too bad. No.
I'm going to the AHR Expo.
Okay.
Are you familiar with that?
I'm not really. I mean, I've heard it. I've heard the name, but I ain't really familiar.
It's going to be in Atlanta this February.
Okay.
It's a huge expo. It's like 3 days long. Everybody's there. All the manufacturers, from equipment to tools to everything.
Okay.
It's a huge deal.
When is that, you said?
February. I don't know the exact date. Just type in, just when you get a chance, go to Google and type in AHR 2023 Expo. It's in Atlanta. I think it's at the Civic Center. Is there a Civic Center in Atlanta?
I don't hang out in Atlanta much, so I don't know.
You.
But yeah,
I see you got I see you got the Braves shirt on, and I'm a Braves fan myself. I got to go to hell yeah. I'm a Braves fan myself. I got to go to Turner Field the last year Turner Field existed. I was so excited because I told my wife, I've got to go to Turner Field before they get rid of it.
Yep.
So I went the last season that they were there. What happened today? Why you didn't go?
It just basically we had it planned out to it was originally a day game, and you know, then they switched it to tonight, and it was just going to be so late, and you know, obviously working tomorrow, I just
right.
That time switch really just messed us up scheduling wise. Plus, I really wanted to do this, so
I got you.
It just it played into that, but yeah.
Well, hey,
it's all good.
You could have told me, look, man, we're gonna have to reschedule, but the fact that you kept this over that is pretty damn cool, and I appreciate that.
I mean, yeah, it's cool. I'm glad it worked out, and you know, it's always nice to go to a Braves game, but you know, they got 162 of them, so
there you go.
That's something.
That was my first Braves game. That was back in 2013, maybe, whatever the last year was. Turner Field was there.
Yeah. Have you been to the new park?
No, but I heard it's awesome.
It's a nice park for sure.
What's it called?
What is it called now? Truist Park.
Truist.
Okay.
So it's not Turner Field anymore.
No, it was originally SunTrust Park, and they switched to Truist. I guess the banks merged or something.
So does Ted Turner own the Braves?
It's Alex Anthopoulos is their, I think, the main manager. I think it's still Ted. I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
That's why it was called Turner Field. He owned the field.
Right.
Yeah.
I should know this, but I don't.
Ted. Well, for anybody that doesn't know, that's been living under a rock, Ted Turner owns the Atlanta Braves. He owns CNN, and at one time, before he got bought out by Vince McMahon, he owned WCW Wrestling.
Okay.
Yeah. So you remember the company WCW back when we were kids?
I was a big wrestling.
Ted Turner owned WCW. That was the Goldberg and Hollywood Hulk Hogan Company.
Okay.
The Stone Cold Steve Austin and the Rock Company, that was WWF back then. That was owned by was owned by Vince McMahon. He retired, and his daughter now owns the company, and it's now called WWE.
Yeah.
So used to be called WWF, but yeah, Ted Turner owned WCW back in the day and got bought out by Vince McMahon because Ted Turner also owns CNN. He owns AOL. He owns Time Warner. He owns the Braves. He owns all kind of stuff.
Right.
So
I got you.
Yep. I've heard the new park. Okay, so I have more than one. The Braves are definitely my go-to. And when they won the World Series last year, dude, I was screaming and hooping and hollering.
I was sitting over here on my couch, and I thought I was about to hit my head on the ceiling. I was jumping up and down so hard.
Yes, my wife was
Man,
like, chill. I said, chill. They ain't won a World Series since like '95. I ain't chilling.
Yeah. I mean, I had, think about this. I had never seen one, so to see.
That's true. What year were you born?
2000.
Oh my God, I feel so old. I remember watching. I mean, I was a young kid, but I was like 7 or 8. But I remember when they won that World Series back then. I was a young kid, but I remember it.
Right.
But that was your first one.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll just go ahead and say I lost my cousin back in March.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that.
We was pretty close. We shared our biggest connection was the Braves, and he got to see them win one right before he passed.
Well,
so
good.
that was.
May I ask what happened to him?
They thinking a heart attack. Just unfortunately.
At how old?
Health problems. He was 38. But he had a lot of health problems. Yeah. Yeah.
My condolences, my friend.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah. We just share our love for the Braves.
Yeah, my condolences. And I want everybody out there to know, you might have seen it too. I'm not looking for sympathy. I just wanted to update you guys. I made a short video of me at the hospital about my aunt. She ended up passing away.
Okay. I pray for you.
I appreciate that.
I saw that.
She passed away 2 days after I made that video at 2 a.m. So she's no longer with us, but she was a stage 4 lung. She was suffering. She was a God-fearing woman. She loved Jesus Christ. And I can promise you, she was not scared to go. And she's very happy where she's at. Well, she's with my mother, which makes me happy. So, I'm sorry. What were you going to say?
I was just saying that's the best way you could go. If you're ready, then if you're not scared and you're ready and you've accepted it, then that's what it's all about. You just can't really ask it for anything.
Well, the day she went to the hospital, she was still coherent, but not feeling good. And she told her husband and her daughter, my cousin, this is it. She said, I can feel it. They say, she said, I can feel myself going. She said, so let me go. She said, I'm ready. She said, if it comes down to it, and I got to get put on all that life support and all that, y'all make the arrangements, but don't leave me on that life support long. Let me go be with Jesus. So we made the arrangements. I helped her dad and my cousin, along with my sister and my wife. We were all very close. It's the aunt that would let me keep my scrap at her house, which I still keep it there because my uncle's still there. But she said, don't keep me on that crap long. If the doctors tell y'all I'm not coming back, let me go be with Jesus. The doctor said there was no coming back. So we let her go, and she's at peace now.
Yeah, not suffering anymore. So
no, her birthday was yesterday. She would have been 69 years old yesterday.
Oh wow! Well, she had a birthday in heaven, her first day in heaven.
Absolutely,
so
absolutely.
Good thing, good way to look at it. So,
and she's with my mother. She's with her mother. She's with her mother-in-law. So, and she's happy. She loved Jesus. She was ready. So, we try not to mourn too much, even though we are mourning. And she was cremated. That's what she wanted. But we're having a memorial service I think this coming up weekend. So that'll be emotional, you know. But we're going to celebrate her life. We're going to try not to get too emotional. Of course, it's going to be emotional, but we're going to celebrate her life because that's what she wanted. So,
yeah.
And that's what I want. Look, when I go, I don't want people sitting around crying over me. Celebrate my life, you know, have fun, talk about the good times we had, not the bad times, you know? So anyway, that's
absolutely.
I hate to talk about that subject. That is a huge fear of mine, is dying. It's not dying. It's the thought of being dead.
Yeah.
You know, that's what screws with me right here. That, dude, you're going to be gone and that's it. You're not coming back. You know, so dying don't scare me. It's the thought of being dead.
Yeah.
You know, so.
My biggest thing is the thought of dying with not knowing Jesus. You know, that's the big thing. You know,
absolutely.
These people who don't know him, and you just know if they died tonight, you kind of know where they're going just because they don't know him. You know,
hey, and look,
that's scary.
Absolutely, I could be a better Christian. I don't go to church nearly as much as I should. I do pray though. We do pray. We pray at home. But I should be going to church more. But I still talk to the Lord. I feel like I know who Jesus is. But I do need to get saved. You know, I do believe everybody needs to get saved to get into heaven. I don't know what your thought on that is, but I do.
100% believe that's the way. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So are you just like a non-denomination or Baptist or what?
I would say more Baptist. That's just kind of how I grew up.
Me too.
So
well, I didn't grow up that way because I come from a small Cajun town in Louisiana and everybody was Catholic. But
yeah.
Well, but here's the thing though. When I started doing it, it's not about going to I got you, Joe. But when I started doing enough research, I learned that Catholic was a man-made religion. And a lot of that stuff is not true. Like, you're not supposed to pray to the saints. You're not supposed to pray to Mary. You know, you don't have to go confess your sins to a man in a room for God to forgive you. I saw a preacher one time at a Baptist church say you have a direct line to God, one-way shot. You know, you don't have to go through another human being to ask God to forgive you.
Absolutely. Yep.
You agree with that?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's, you know, my biggest thing, it's all about the personal relationship. That's you and the Lord. There's nothing coming between that. That's the biggest belief.
Yeah.
You know, you got to have. So, and, you know, practice that. You got to practice prayer and, just talk to God. You got to have that relationship.
Absolutely.
Big thing.
And it doesn't matter. I like going to church. I don't go as much as I should, but you don't have to go to church to talk to God. You know, you don't.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Yeah, anywhere you can bear anywhere on this earth, and you close your eyes and talk to God, and He's going to listen. And that's the most freedom I have. You know, just with knowing God is. It doesn't matter the circumstances you're in, where you're at, what you're facing. It's just hey God, I'm here.
Yeah.
It's just a conversation, it's just to acknowledge Him away and just, talk to Him. That's the biggest thing.
I have a ritual that I do. When I'm at work every day, I give all the glory to God from the success of my business. I'm coming up on 4 years. Every time I sell a change out, or I do a good service call, or I pick up a new client, or I get a good referral, I pull the truck over in a parking lot, and get out of the way, put it in park. I put my head down, I close my eyes, and I thank God. God, thank you for this change out. Thank you for this new customer. Thank you for the good referral. Because without you, none of this would be possible. A lot of people don't believe I do that. I've had people here on YouTube say you don't do that, but I really do. I actually pull over when I can in a parking lot, out of the way, an empty lot, and I just bow my head and I just tell God, thank you so much for that. Without you, this is not possible. And
That's great, man.
he's been really good to me since I've been doing that.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Just just acknowledging to him and thanking him, and just the Lord wants to hear that, because
Yep.
that's honoring him. That's part of being faithful, and honoring him is showing thanks, and just believing that nothing, he can either give it to you or he can take it away in the snap of a fingers.
Brother,
that's
you're giving me the chill bumps right now, because as good as he can give it to you, he can take it away from you that quick. You gave me chill bumps when you said that. He could definitely take it away from you as quick as he gives it to you.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think the way I don't want to get into politics, but the way the United States is and the world is, the Lord might have to take some stuff away in an instant to wake some people up. If that's
Agreed.
that's what it takes. Might be something he has to do.
Agreed.
It's just, I just want people to know it's possible. Stuff can go away very quickly.
Agreed.
Just as it comes. So.
And I agree that the good Lord may have to start pulling some stuff away for the United States to wake up. I agree with that. Well, Jesse, we've been on here for about an hour and 10 minutes. I borrowed my wife's little pink book because I wrote down some questions that I wanted to ask you, and I asked you all of them.
Okay.
We covered the good Lord. No, there is one other thing I didn't ask you. I just saw it.
Okay.
What are your hobbies? Obviously, you like sports. Do you have any other hobbies?
I like to fish. I'm a big fishing guy.
Man.
I like to fish. I'm not really into hunting. Kind of got out of that, but
I'm a big hunter and fisher. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm more of the fishing type.
Okay.
My daddy always said it's a lot more fun because you can talk while you fish.
Very true. Can't talk while you hunt.
That's always kind of stuck with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fishing's a big one when I get to. Obviously.
Anything else?
Yeah, I like to. I got a Jeep Wrangler. I like to go out and go Jeep riding.
There you go.
That's off road and go travel
Absolutely.
around. I like to go hiking sometimes. When I get a chance. So
Okay.
I'd say that, and fishing and taking my Jeep out. That's probably
I was going to ask you.
the main big
I wanted to
three.
ask your hobbies because you have a very thick redneck accent. I've got more of the Cajun accent because of Louisiana, which is still country. It's just not redneck. It's a form of redneck. We're a special breed of rednecks down here.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
We eat a lot of funny stuff, and that y'all don't.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I wanted to ask if you had hobbies, if you hunted or fished, because you got a real thick redneck accent. I figured you had to at least fish.
Oh yeah, fishing's a big one. Absolutely.
Yeah. Good deal. Well, man, that's all I got for you. But I enjoyed talking to you, man. I like you.
Absolutely.
I've enjoyed your videos, and I want to do this again.
Absolutely.
I want to revisit this in about 6 months or so, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime. I'd be happy to get on here and hang out and talk, and we'll talk about anything.
A lot of times I can fit up to 6 people in this program. I'll have what's called a hangout where it'll be me, you, and I can add other guys and stuff, and we can all get together if you're interested in something like that.
Bring it on.
All right, man.
I'm up for it.
Well, look, I want to thank you for taking time out of your Sunday.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I appreciate the invitation. This is great. I like
Dude, absolutely.
something new for me. I'm glad to be a part of it.
Guys, Jesse's got what, 1,700 subscribers?
It's 12.
12?
Roughly 1,200, yeah.
Okay, he's roughly 1,200 subscribers. If you guys have not subscribed to this guy yet, I don't know what you're waiting on. You need to go to his channel right now and go subscribe. He's got great content. And for finding out that he's only 4 years in, he is an amazing service tech for only 4 years in. You guys are missing out on some good content. Jesse, thank you, brother, for taking time out of your Sunday. Hey, anytime.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
are welcome here anytime.
Oh yeah, I'll be glad to come back whenever you want to do it.
You have a good rest of the day, brother.
All right, John. We'll see you. Thank you very much.
Anytime, brother. Thanks.
Take care. Thanks, guys.
Right. Bye-bye. That is a really good kid. And I use the word kid because he's only 22 years old. I mean, he's not a kid. He is a grown adult. But I'm 10 years. 11 years older than him. I've been doing this he's been doing it for 4. I've been doing it for 20. So whatever that is, 16 more years than he has. But honestly, guys, go subscribe to his channel. Let me get a link to it. I got it. He's right at 1,200 subscribers. Link is going in the chat. Y'all go subscribe to that man right now, please. Show him some love. Watch his videos. For a 22-year-old, I'm not going to call him a kid. For a 22-year-old, that's only 4 years into this trade, he is remarkable. He is absolutely remarkable for 4 years in. Okay, nobody called in, which was disappointing. I really wish that somebody would have called in. I'm going to go ahead and take that off the screen. And I'm getting out of here because I'm at my office. I'm going to go home and watch some more football. All right, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed that interview. Next up is Curtis. Mikey Pipes, you're welcome to come on and do this just to shoot the breeze with me. I don't think you need my help.
My wife.
That's my wife. I'm going to – hold on a second. Mikey Pipes, you don't need my help getting your name out there. Hell, you probably got more subscribers than I do. Matter of fact, let's take a look at that. Mikey. I like old Mikey Pipes. I'm glad Mikey Pipes likes me. I didn't know if Mikey Pipes did like me or not. Yeah, Mikey, you got more damn subscribers than I do, man. So, anyway, but Mikey, if you ever want to come on here and just shoot the breeze with me one night, you're more than welcome. Anybody is. But I want to get some of these other guys in here and get their name out there. But next up is going to be, Mikey Pipes is a powerhouse, no doubt about it. All right, Mikey, we'll do it, man. That number that was going across the screen earlier, Mikey, you can text me on that number. It's a Google Voice number, but you can text me. So text me anytime. We'll set something up. I'm getting out of here. I'm going back to the house and watch some more football. I hope you guys enjoyed that. No, I'm not. Me and Steve Lav don't get along. Steve Lav screwed his relationship up with me a long time ago with Mr. Ralph. But next up is going to be Curtis from HVAC Guy. Hopefully we can get him in here soon. Guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate the support. Go show Jesse some love. Subscribe to his channel. Jesse, thank you again for taking the time out of your Sunday to join me. I thoroughly enjoyed talking to you. Until the next one, we'll see you guys on the next one.